Hey, what's going on, everyone? Let's talk about one of the worst pains imaginable in life, and that is when someone else has to suffer your punishment. And you see this probably more often than any other arena in what's called family sin or generational sin. So here's the deal. Whatever you're struggling with right now, whatever you have become enslaved to, whatever is destroying you, whatever is just taking you captive, like, your children will inherit it from you, and maybe even generations after you, and they will suffer for it. And some of us right now, you may even be kind of dealing with that as of now. It's like, you know, if your family struggled with greed, there's a good chance you're a greedy person. If your family struggled with like sexual sin, there's a good chance that that's going to be your family's thing that you deal with. But whatever it is, everyone self-pity, you know, it's like, y'all, family sin is one of the worst things ever. Because think about it. Okay, hypothetically, imagine if you hit somebody with a car, and you have kids and you love them more than yourself, and all of a sudden the judge comes up to you and he's just like, you know what, you're guilty, so as punishment, your kid's gonna serve the next 30 years. And you're just sitting there screaming like, wait, you like, kill me, do anything you want to me, just not the kids. Like, not, can you imagine the insanity that would take over as you watch your kid suffer for your mistakes? And that's the thing. That's what happens when we don't break cycles. That's what happens when we're enslaved in this stuff. And it's like, and the thing is, if you can't rise above it, how can anyone after you? It's not that they can't, but it would just be so insanely hard. And so it's hard for all of us. And the next thing is, here's one of the first ways it manifests is through just a spiritual famine. Like, in fact, there's a period where the people back in early Israel, this huge famine goes over the land, and after like 3 years or so, they go to God and they're like, what's going on? And God says, the previous king, so King David, he tells King David, the previous king before you, King Saul, he says, King Saul killed this one group, and because of that, now you're all dealing with this famine. And so all that's left are Saul's children. And so what ends up happening is David goes to this group and he's like, what do you want me to do for you? David asked. They answered the king, as for the man who destroyed us and plotted against us so that we have been decimated and have no place anywhere in Israel, let 7 of his male descendants be given to us to be killed and their bodies exposed before the Lord at Gibeah of Saul, the Lord's chosen one. So the king said, I will give them to you. So what Israel now had to do, and think about this is our God, y'all. This is how our God operated. He put a famine in the land, and now these 7 kids who didn't commit the murders themselves got to be hanged, and they have to die. And because of that, justice is served at last. If there's a big takeaway from all this, it's number one, God's will and God's glory is before all of us, even our very own lives. Like, the preciousness of your life comes after God's glory and his will. That's why we have to be self-sacrificial. That's why we have to be okay with the fact that we may need to die for the greater good. And the second thing is, seek righteousness now. Don't wait until it's too late and you ruin your family and the next generations after you and have to watch them suffer the consequences of your sin. And if you're already there, repent and seek help immediately before you do any more damage. And can you not see the damage you've already done? You know what I mean? It's like, seek first righteousness. We have to grow into righteous people and to be made pure by God, or else many will suffer and the world just gets worse and worse. So that's just it's kind of my encouragement for you today. You know, despite all that, it is a beautiful day here in Nashville, so I'm loving it. But hey, like, comment, subscribe. You got a topic you want to talk about, throw it down in the comments, and you can always visit the website, kick a little donation my way. But love y'all, praying for you. Talk to you soon.